okay, is far beyond our expectation.
It's the safest way of owning a house.
My mouth is full of appreciation to Federal Mortgage Bank.
Hello, and thanks for joining us again on another edition of Everyone Deserves a Home, showcasing the efforts and strides of the FMBN towards delivering affordable housing. I am Zuleyhat Belagubir, your regular anchor on the program, welcoming you to yet another episode. As part of its efforts towards addressing the housing challenges in Nigeria, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria in the year 2018 began a collaboration with the organized labor unions in Nigeria to deliver houses for civil servants. In its first phase, the bank delivered over 1,300 housing units across the country. In our episode tonight, we shall showcase one such estate delivered under the FMBN NLCTUCNECA collaboration in Ondo State. Before then, we will take highlights of major happenings from the FMBN. Join me after the short break for the full program. Keep watching.
Are you a low or medium income earner? Are you a contributor to the National Housing Fund? Do you desire a house of your own? Then the FMBN Rent to Own offer is your choice. The FMBN Rent to Own. With zero down payment, you become a tenant in an FMBN funded home and eventually own the property through monthly or yearly rent spread over a 30-year period at only 7% interest. FMBN also operates a non-interest bearing rent-to-own mortgage for Nigerians desirous of non-interest loans. What an opportunity! Interested subscribers are to visit the nearest FMBN office located in all states of the Federation for further information and possibly schedule visits to available houses. Fill necessary documentations and you are on your way to owning a home. FMBN. Everyone deserves a home.
In the news diary tonight, FMBN to consider indigenous ways of delivering affordable houses, just as Group Head NHF retires from the FMBN. Stay tuned for details of these stories coming your way shortly. Don't go away.
The Managing Director, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Madu Hamman, has said that the bank is interested in considering indigenous ways of delivering affordable houses for Nigerians. Hamman disclosed this during a courtesy visit paid to the bank by the Association Housing Corporation of Nigeria, AHCN. He noted that the bank will continue to explore its collaborations with the Association of Housing Corporation of Nigeria and the Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute, NBRRI, in order to advance the collaboration it shares in delivering affordable housing.
The collaboration between Federal Mortgage Housing Association of Housing Corporation of Nigeria and NIBRI is something we would be willing to look into because we're also interested in finding indigenous way to deliver affordable housing for Nigerians. And we also want to participate in the area of research to improve the quality of housing that we can deliver with our local materials. We are also willing to explore the area of collaboration with NIBRI and your association to be able to see how we can advance this noble gesture.
Hamman also disclosed that the bank will partner with the corporation to identify and address areas of deficiencies in construction industry. President and Chairman of Council, Association of Housing Corporation of Nigeria, Dr. Victor Onokuga, while speaking earlier, noted that the visit was an avenue to rub minds with the FMBN on how to provide decent and affordable housing. He called on the FMBN to join hands with the corporation to renew its collaboration in delivering houses through the use of locally made materials.
The association is still very committed to developing affordable housing. One of the ways we hope to achieve this is through the use of local building materials. As you are probably aware as well, A collaborative effort codenamed FMBN, ASCN, and NIBRI Stakeholders Collaboration on Decent and Affordable Housing was initiated in 2018 to address affordability through the use of local building materials, powered through a collaboration of the association with the Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute. This was a renewed effort of a similar collaboration carried out during former President Olusegun Obasanjo's regime, which produced some housing estates built with NIBRI interlocking technology, pioneered by Ekiti State Housing Corporation, with 224 housing units. The modalities for the execution were done with FMBN providing the funds, NIBRI providing the technology, while ASM members provided the land. Other beneficiaries of the program included Kaduna, Kwara, and Abia states. The houses on completion were allocated to NHF contributors who accessed NFH loans to purchase these houses. The renewed efforts of the FMBN, ASCN, and NIBRI stakeholders collaboration on decent and affordable housing is geared towards making housing affordable, especially to the low-income earners, and to discourage notable apathy for the use of local building materials, especially red bricks.
Also speaking, Group Head Risk Management, Mr. Kabir Yagboyaju, called on the association to collaborate with the bank to close up its books from previous transactions.
Houses are developed in some estates, maybe not fully completed. We have some cases that are not fully completed, and in some instances where those houses are even completed, how they were disposed was totally outside the control of the bank, which make a mess of the arrangement we had with them. So it would be a good idea if the association can collaborate with us, and we can use that opportunity to recover the money, just like the MD said.
Executive Director, Finance and Corporate Services, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Zubaida Umar, has congratulated and felicitated with Yusuf Sani, Group Head, National Housing Fund Group, over his retirement from the service of the bank. The Executive Director described Yusuf Sani as a dedicated and committed staff of the bank who carried out his duties diligently.
Yusuf is a gentleman. You would know that. Very gentle. Yusuf is also very honest. You know, he will give it to you, and as much as possible, he tries to keep to himself for a lot of reasons that people will know.
Other staff of the bank took turns to eulogize Mr. Yusuf Sani while also praying for God's guidance in the new phase he's entering into.
I know him as somebody who is very disciplined, strict, no nonsense, and you know, he always used to talk with nostalgia about the old days when things were being done properly, and you know, there was a higher level of discipline. And well, the past is the past. We are moving into the future.
We thank God for today. You have finished well. My prayer for you is at your next level, I wish you sound head. I wish you God protection. God has taken you for the past 28 years to this time. God will continue to be with you and your family.
We know him for being principled, and it's admirable. It's something I think a lot of us have had to now pick as well. But I wanted to also show a different side of him. That he can also be very social and playful, laughable, friendly, and above all, he's very sporty. You should see him in those days. There's the way he leaps to make a basket, and there's the way he rolls. It's like, I don't know if he still do that.
On his part, the retiree appreciated God for the privilege to bow out of service in good health. He called on staff of the bank to remain diligent and not compromise on their jobs.
You have peace of mind when you don't touch something that does not belong to you. Try and see. Try it. It pays.
Gifts were presented to the retiree in recognition of his hard work and services. Yusuf Sani joined the FMBN in 1997 and has served in various capacities in the bank. He retired from service as Deputy General Manager in the FMBN after attaining the mandatory retirement age of 60.
Thank you for staying with us. If you're just joining us, you're watching Everyone Deserves a Home. Ondo State is one of the states where the FMBN NLCTUCNECA projects was successfully delivered. 100 housing units have been delivered in the state. Details of this project is our focus in this segment. Let's see details of this project.
The FMBN NLCTUCNECA housing project is an idea of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria in delivering houses under the National Economic Sustainability Plan. The project began in 2018 when the FMBN entered into collaboration with the organized labor unions to deliver houses for Nigerian workers.
The bank had gone into MOU with the organized labor, that is the NLC, TUC, and NECA. So, and it's termed as FMBN NLCTUCNECA Collaborative Workers Housing Development Scheme. So these are one stakeholders at one point. Then the other critical stakeholder is the bank with FMBN, the state governments, various state governments, and the developers that the bank profiled to participate in the program. So I would say these are the stakeholders. So each stakeholder has a role. I start with FMBN. FMBN provides the housing finance and overall coordination of the program, while the NLC, TUC, and NECA provide off-takers. Their membership across the country are the off-takers for these intended developments.
The project was then shared into phases to enable easier delivery of the project. The first phase included 15 states across all geopolitical zones with at least 2 states from each zone. So far, about 13 states from these 15 states have successfully delivered at least 100 housing units each.
In each location, the developments are 3 house types: 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedroom. On the average is 100 housing units per location in the first phase. So we have delivered up to 1,300 at the moment.
Ondo State is one such state that have successfully delivered houses under this project. 100 units have been delivered in this project.
This is one of the estates financed by Federal Mortgage Bank, which is named FMBN TUCNECA Housing Estate. It is meant to provide houses for Nigerian civil servants. We have 100 units of 3 bedroom, 100 units comprising of 3 bedroom, 40 units, 2 bedroom, 40 units, then 1 bedroom, 20 units.
The estate, which was developed by Plural Development Limited, has been fully completed with about 40% of the houses already subscribed for.
Presently, we have a 40% level of subscription, because out of the 100 housing units, 40 units have been sold under rent-to-own window.
Various infrastructures are already in place to provide a better living experience for off-takers in the estate.
As you could see, the estate is well built. You can see the road network. There is light, there is water reticulation. We have overhead tanks, transformer. So by and large, the estate is one of the best estates in Ondo State.
The rent-to-own window is the medium through which the houses in this project will be off-taken.
The houses are being given out on rent-to-own, which means you enter as a tenant. You'll be paying monthly rent on the houses to the value of the total cost of the house, which you can spread for almost 30 years, depending on your age, your present age minus 60.
The FMBN NLCTUCNECA project is already a work in progress, as modalities for the second phase are already in place for the commencement of work on the project.
is Everyone Deserves a Home. Mrs. Olushina Olajide Ayoade is a proud beneficiary of the National Housing Fund. Though the house is still a work in progress, she's enjoying the privilege of finishing the house to her taste, and that's one beauty of the NHF scheme. Sit back and watch as she tells us how she got a home to call hers.
The payment process is quite flawless.
It was unbelievable because I didn't know that they have such a scheme existing in Nigeria.
Is it true that I will get the house? No, why not? You met all the requirements, so you'll get it.
The joy of ownership is wonderful.
Mrs. Olushina Olajide is now a homeowner of a beautiful 3-bedroom apartment at Elite Court Estate, Idu, Abuja. She shares with us some of the processes she went through to acquire the apartment.
The process is pretty straightforward process. Getting your NHF card, making sure it's updated, making sure your employers are remitting their monthly contribution. I think you only have to do 6 months, although I've worked for over 17 years and I've always been in an organization that contributed. So I just approached my PMI, told them I wanted to buy a house, and I looked at houses where they had done NHF before, because I was mindful of if they had not done NHF before, then they might not be able to fulfill the documentation process. So I think that was the most important thing for me.
Although the journey was not as quick as she imagined it would be, but in the course of the processes she went through, Mrs. Shina realized something that delayed her process.
Once you are able to fulfill the documentation process, then it's relatively straightforward. I think the challenge is more on the documentation, because people, we generally don't like to do documentation. So, but once they ask you to bring ABC and you're able to do that, then it's a relatively simple process and straightforward. Basically, you don't really need to know anybody, I must say, as long as you are able to fulfill the documentation that you needed to do.
With all documentations ready, Mrs. Shina got her house at the cost of 22 million naira only. Because of the limit of the NHF loan being 15 million naira, she paid the remaining amount as her equity contribution.
I got a 3-bedroom in Idu and I got it for 22 million. So I got 15 million from FMBN and I paid my own equity of the balance, which was 7 million.
She tells us how she feels being a homeowner.
For Abuja is a relatively expensive town to live in. Rent is something you want to get out of the way so that you can actually have some savings and know what to do with your money. That it's a lot. It's a good one, because I mean, once you get that out of the way, it's a lot of weight off your back, and then you can begin to plan for other financial commitments. Yeah, I'm happy, very happy. The microwave stuff.
Because the NHF scheme allows owners modify their houses to their taste, Mrs. Shina did some modifications on the apartment to suit her taste.
I pay very close attention to it. My husband is a builder, so my husband, of course, is working very closely with the developer to make sure that the quality of the things there are what we want. Like, I have particular things that I wanted, like you see the sliding door, that I wanted, that I provided, because that was what I wanted. I didn't want the ordinary door there, so I provided that. So for anything that I feel that is not within the specification of what I want, I'll just provide it and just get it fixed.
Mrs. Shina said the repayment process is very easy and stress-free.
It's simple, it's straightforward. Like, I don't even need to do anything. They just take it from my bank account. They have like a direct debit instruction in place. So monthly, I have put it there for them to take at the end of the month. On that particular day, I know that my repayment is going to be taken. I don't need to go to the bank. I don't need to do anything. It just goes from NIBS, just take my repayment. It goes to my primary and my PMI. My PMI has it sorted. Because I've done all the documentation to put those things in place, I do not need to do anything.
She has a word of encouragement to NHF contributors and prospective beneficiaries.
It works and is real. It exists. My neighbor where I moved from, got NHF loan, like I'm talking like 7-8 years ago. I know it exists. I know it's effective. I know it's functional. You just have to follow the rules and the guidelines. It's actually a very simple, effective process. If you don't understand it, go to any FMBN, get the information that you need. I think the important thing is to be prepared. Understand that you need, let's say, a year at the minimum to have the whole process. Understand the documentation you need. Understand your financial obligation to that process, and just commit to it. I think that's just about it.
Our question for the week is, do I have to start my contributions anew if I change jobs?
Even when you change job, your previous contribution is intact. There is nothing that happens to it. It's in our records. What is required of you is to approach the nearest Federal Mortgage Bank branch in where you are domiciled or staying. Then there is a form that will give you where you will give information on where you are working, you understand, and where you left. Federal Mortgage Bank will use that data you provide so that it will be updated. Then your employer also will be rightly be informed. What is unique is that you have what we call the NHF participation number. That one does not change, it's maintained. So what we only do is to merge your records in the former place you are working with the present place of work. So nothing happens. Your financial records are intact as far as the bank is concerned.
And on this note, we draw the curtains on this episode of the program with hopes that you have learned a thing or two as you delve into your home ownership journey. Do join me again next week, same time, same station, for another exciting edition of the program. Until then, please stop by at any branch offices of the FMBN for information about us, or kindly visit our website on www.fmbn.gov.ng for more information about us. You can also send in your questions and inquiries via text only to the number currently showing on your screen. Until next time, it's bye for now.